One random mistake brings a young woman to the door of a man who has long since stopped letting anyone into his life. He wasn't looking for a nanny, and she wasn't planning on staying. But a 5-year-old girl changes everything. Between the silence, tea, and fairy tales, something they were both afraid to name appears. And when the past knocks on the door again, only one question remains important. Who will really decide to stay? Don't forget to subscribe and like so you don't miss new stories. Are you sure you dialed correctly? Absolutely. A nanny on urgent call, right? No. Books on Saturdays and tea in a thermos, that's all I can do. The man paused in the doorway. He was wearing a dark suit, expensive but rumpled. His eyes looked like he hadn't slept in a week. He ran his hand over his face and sighed. Sorry. Looks like a mistake. I accidentally saved the number under the urgent tag. My child is sick. My assistant is at the airport. The old nanny went to her sister's. Did you call the first woman on the list? Something like that. The logic is sound. He wanted to say something, but at that moment, a child's cough came from the apartment. Ringing, wet, alarming. The man jerked and looked back. Is everything okay? She asked softly. The temperature rose. I gave her syrup, but she didn't eat. She doesn't speak. How old is she? 5. He paused, clearly expecting her to turn and leave. Instead, Nora set her bag on the floor and nodded toward the door. Will you show me? He hesitated for a split second. Then he opened it. The room was half dark. In the corner was a bed, above it a lamp with a dim light. Under the blanket was a girl, pale, her eyes slightly squinted, her cheeks pink from the heat. She did not look at them. She only squeezed the plush giraffe slightly. Hi, Nora said, sitting down next to him. I'm not your nanny. I'm nothing. But if you don't mind, I can stay for an hour. Silence. Or at least for 10 minutes. While you're sleeping, I'll just sit and think about how not to mix up the numbers next time. The girl's eyes trembled slightly. Then, a nod, almost invisible. But it was there. Nora turned to face the man. Do you have a thermometer? Yes. Electronic. In the kitchen. Bring it, please. And water. Preferably not boiling water. I'll sit here. He left. He came back a minute later. He handed everything over silently. Then he stood in the doorway. Her name is Maddie. Full name is Madison. But my wife just called her M. And you? Sometimes the same. Depends on the day. I see. You don't have to explain. I understand everything. Is it true? Yes. I've seen eyes like that before. In the mirror. He wanted to ask something, but changed his mind. Nora applied the thermometer. 38.6. Not scary yet. But if it goes higher, call a doctor. Do you have a pulse oximeter? No. I'll buy it. I'll bring it. I have one at home. A small one, with a cat on the screen. He smiled for the first time. Does the cat save you? Sometimes better than pills. They fell silent. The depths of the apartment smelled of coffee and fatigue. Nora looked at her watch. I can stay for an hour, while you have dinner, or just sit in silence. Are you sure? I'm already here. Besides, I don't leave children with burning cheeks. It's not in my nature. Thank you. Just don't confuse this with the beginning of friendship. I don't know how to be friends. Me too. Excellent. Then we won't let each other down. He left. Maddie opened her eyes slightly. Are you new? No, I'm a random person. Totally out of place. You smell like mint. This is tea in a thermos. It is always with me, and a little cinnamon, but it is from my mother. Do you have a mother? There was, and a sister, but now, only tea and books. You are like a book. Your pages are quiet. Thank you. This is the most beautiful compliment anyone has ever given me. Will you tell me a story? Only if you close your eyes. And you won't leave? Not until you fall asleep. Then okay. Nora began to speak quietly. She wasn't reading, she was telling. A story about a girl who lived in a library and created worlds every night. Maddie's breathing became more even. Then she became completely quiet. When Elliot looked in, she was still sitting by the bed. She's sleeping. Thank you. I'll go. Leave the number, not like last time. The real one. For what? In case the temperature rises, or if I mix up the number again, on purpose. Fine. She wrote the numbers on a piece of paper and put it on the shelf. Then she went out. He looked at the piece of paper for a long time. On it was written, "The Burrow, the Library, Mint and Books, Emergencies Only." And underneath this is a child's pencil stroke. M with a crooked heart. And in that moment, he realized that a mistake in the number is not always a mistake. Sometimes it is an answer to a prayer that you no longer know how to say. "You've come again," said Maddie, sitting on the windowsill with a book in her hands. "I've started a tradition, tea in the evenings and a fairy tale for a girl who knows all the words by heart. But I pretend I don't know. So you don't stop telling me. Good tactics. By the way, I do the same thing in the bookstore. Do they tell you fairy tales there? Sometimes. Just not with my voice, with my look. When someone opens a book, as if it were a treasure chest. Do you like being here? I don't know. It's very quiet here. This is bad. It's dangerous. Silence makes you vulnerable. You hear yourself in it. Are you afraid of yourself? Sometimes. Me too. Nora fell silent. She came closer and took the book from her. Today I'm reading aloud, but not a fairy tale. A letter. To whom? For you. Just without paper. Maddie sat up more comfortably. Nora began, almost in a whisper. Dear Maddie, today I brought you tea and a smile again. A smile you don't always see yet, but I brought it. Sometimes it hides, but if you look a little closer, it lives between the words. Today I noticed how you stroke your giraffe's ears when you're sad, and how you purse your lips when you want to say something but are afraid. And you know what? Grown-ups do that too, especially those who have lost someone. So I'm just here, no promises, no plan. Just until you say, stay. You're almost nanny. Nora. Maddie was silent. Then she said, I can say it now, just quietly. Speak. Stay. Nora smiled. Okay. See you tomorrow. No. Stay for now. At that moment, footsteps were heard outside the door. Elliot entered, holding a tablet in his hands. Sorry, should I have knocked? There are only girls here pretending to have everything under control. Come in, Mr. Carter. Just Elliot, no formalities. Then just Nora. We have parity now. He sat down on the edge of the chair. He looked at Maddie. Have you eaten? Is this yes or no? It's, she baked cookies and wouldn't let me eat the raw dough. You are strict. For me, gently but consistently. If she gets sick again and you blame the flour, they will not forgive me. He chuckled. Does she tell you about her mother? Nora shook her head. Not yet. I'm not asking. If she wants, she'll say so herself. She was amazing. I don't talk about her, almost at all. I understand. No, you don't understand. I don't say it not because it hurts, but because I'm afraid that my memory will blur, that I won't remember the smell of perfume or how she laughed when she stumbled. You don't have to talk, Elliot. Memory isn't always spoken. Sometimes it's in the way you hold a cup or turn off a light. Maddie feels. Not in words. He fell silent, then suddenly asked, And who were you before? Babysitting? A teacher. Before. Sorry. No need. You didn't know that I lost two, my sister and her son. We lived together. They left quickly, and I stayed. There are too many words to say. Then tell me at least one thing. Breathe. I repeated this to myself every day. Breathe. The rest later. Maddie suddenly yawned. She folded her hands on her lap. Will you stay overnight? I thought it was only until the fairy tale. But the tale is long. Elliot looked at Nora. She looked back. May I? He asked. Only if the coffee isn't bitter. I don't like bitterness in the house. I can make tea. Then we are on the same wavelength. Later they sat in the kitchen. The light was soft. The silence was light. It's the first time she said that, he said. What? Stay. Before. To no one. Not even Grandma. So it's not a coincidence. Are you sure you want to continue? Are you sure you're prepared for the fact that I might be late? I'm not sure. I just know that for the first time in a long time, the house is warm without the heater. Then I'll stay. No schedule, just I'll be there. He stood up and walked towards the door. Good night, Nora. Good night, Elliot. What if I make a mistake with the number again? Then I'll come again, but only if there's mint in the house. He grinned. He left. And Nora remained, in a house where she had not been expected until recently. And for the first time in many months, she felt that silence might not be an enemy, but an invitation to stay. Are you leaving? Maddie stood in her pajamas at the door, holding a stuffed giraffe. Just for a couple of days. I had some things to do. And me? You are a miracle. And miracles know how to wait. But you didn't say when you'd be back. I don't know. Then I will wait every day. Nora crouched down and hugged the girl. For a long time. Then she stood up. She glanced over her shoulder into the kitchen doorway, where Elliot stood leaning against the wall. Thank you for everything, she said. For the tea, for the windows that were warm, for your stay. It was almost home. Why almost? Because you moved the chair yourself. I just wanted time. And I wanted the truth. But it seems we both chose silence. He didn't answer. She left. Dad, will Nora be here tomorrow? No, Maddie. She's busy. And the day after tomorrow? Don't know. You didn't call her? No. Why? Because sometimes adults get scared. Are you afraid? Yes. Then tell her this. I can't. What if I tell? She's not here, Maddie. Were you there when Mom left? Elliot froze. Then he left the room. Hi, Nora answered, her voice even. This is Olivia, Elliot's assistant. Sorry to bother you, you need to know. Did something happen? Maddie is silent. For 2 days now. Doesn't say a word. Doesn't eat. Just holds her giraffe and looks out the window. Did you call a doctor? Yes. He said it was psychological. No infection. Just a blackout. Does she only talk to him? No. Not even with him. Understand. Nora, I don't know what you meant to her, but it seems like you meant more to her than we thought. If you can, I will think. Thank you. Why did you call her? Elliot asked, entering the office. Because she was the voice in this house. And now all we have left are walls. It's none of your business. Maddie is my business. And if you don't want to lose someone again, take a step. Or she will leave too. Not physically. Inside. He didn't answer. He just sat down and covered his face with his hands. Nora, you have to see this. Clara put the photo on the table. What is this? Your window, A small drawing on the glass, next to the steam. Maddie drew you, with her finger on the glass. And next to it, a word. Mom. I don't. You don't have to be her. But you became her home, and she became a reminder that you can still love. Nora turned away and walked towards the door. I can't go back. Are you sure you should go back? Maybe you're just going where they're still waiting for you. He waited for her in the evening, at the bookstore, in the rain, without an umbrella, just standing. I was scared, he said as she approached. I know. I thought, if Maddie gets attached again, and you leave, I can't stand it. I don't want her to lose again. I don't want to bury the warmth again. Maybe we shouldn't be afraid of what hasn't happened yet. I just don't know what to do, how not to destroy it. Then start small, with hello, with I missed you, with I ruined everything. Hi, I missed you. I ruined everything. Now add, stay, even if I make a mistake again. He looked into her eyes. Stay, even if I make a mistake again. Okay, but on one condition. Which one? What will you say now, always, even if you are afraid? And you? Me too. Then, let's go home? Home isn't the walls, it's the way Maddie smiles. I went to where she was waiting. Maddie opened the door, in her pajamas, with a giraffe, with eyes that hid hope. Are you back? And you? Were you waiting? I didn't say, but I put a mug on the windowsill every day, mint tea, just in case. Then I must stay, and have a drink. And Dad? He knows how to keep quiet, but now he is learning to speak. And you? Will you tell a story? No. Today you will tell, and I will listen. Maddie nodded, took her hand, smiled. You have hands like your mother, but your voice is like in a fairy tale. And at that moment, everything fell into place, without big words, without titles. Just a woman who dialed the wrong number, a girl who opened her heart, and a man who said for the first time, stay, and did not regret it. Because sometimes the right thing is the thing you feared the most. Look, Maddie pointed at the cafe window. There's that dog with the crooked ears again. Do you think she recognizes us? She probably does. She's smart, and she likes raisin cookies. Did you come up with this? No, I dropped half of it once. She ate it. Then she winked. Dogs don't wink. This, she winked. I saw. Nora laughed. Softly, truly. Elliot watched them from across the street, holding a paper bag of buns. We're having a secret meeting with the winking dog, she said as he approached. An important matter. Very much. Cookies solve everything. Then I should have taken a double portion. Later, at home, in the kitchen, the three of them drank tea. Maddie, with a straw, from a princess mug. Elliot, silent but relaxed. Nora, from her old mint-colored cup, which she now held with both hands. Have you always been this silent? She asked. No, I used to talk nonstop, especially with her. With your wife? Yes, Emily. She said she fell in love with my voice. And then, when I started to be silent more and more often, she said, give me back at least the sound. I never did. Does it hurt? Memory? No. What you didn't return. He nodded. Very much. More painful than loss. Because you are not to blame for the loss, but you are to blame for this. And would she forgive? I think so. She always forgave. Even the fact that I didn't understand what to do with my daughter when I was left alone. And now? Now I watch her fall asleep to someone else's voice, and I understand that not all is lost. I'm not a stranger. I'm just not you, and not her. But you are important. He looked straight ahead, without leaving. For the first time, Nora looked away. I still don't know how to be needed. Why? Because one day I lost everything I was attached to. My sister, my nephew, my car, an icy road, one turn, and then emptiness, silence. I didn't know how to live. I tried to teach, but the words came tumbling out. I went to a bookstore. At least there all the losses were made up. You are not imaginary. Sometimes you want to be. Books don't suffer. They just close. But you chose to stay. First, by accident, then because of Maddie, and then because of you. He didn't answer. He just reached out and placed his hand on hers. I'm afraid of getting attached. I can't lose twice. And I'm afraid of being unnecessary again. I won't survive if one day you say, "Thank you, you helped," and close the door. I won't tell. People talk when they are afraid. I'll say something else. What? Stay. Not because you're saving, but because you're the person you can talk to, even if there are no words. I'll stay, as long as you talk, even if it's in a whisper. He nodded. Maddie looked into the kitchen. Have you finished the adult part of the conversation? Did you hear? No. But the tea has already cooled down, which means it's time for a fairy tale. Then go choose a book. Just not a sad one. Nora stood up, went to the shelf, and picked up a thin volume with yellowed pages. This one is about a house that was empty at first, and then someone came in and just stayed. Fits. Do you know why? Why? Because fairy tales are when everything scary has already happened, and then there is only light. Maddie climbed onto the couch with them. Elliot hugged his daughter. Nora sat down next to him, and at that moment, everything became quiet. Not the silence of loss, but the silence as a promise, that after fear, there is light. After leaving, return, and after someone else's door, home can begin. Are you sure you want these shelves? Absolutely. Low, so that children can get the books themselves, without permission. And the lamps? Soft. Yellow, not lamps, like in Grandma's room. And the door? All glass. Let them see that there is no office inside. There is history inside. Then only the name remains. I've already thought of it. Well, Solar Library. Why? Because in this place everyone can warm up, even if there is a snowstorm outside. Elliot smiled. He watched her as she checked boxes of books, arranged toys on the windowsill, and wrote on post-it notes. Here are stories about friendship. Here are stories about fear that can be conquered. Do you even know how to relax? Yes. When you make tea, Maddie sings under her breath, and I sit by the window and just listen to the street. Then maybe it's time for you to take a break? If only it tastes good. He handed her the cup. Mint, as always, and a cloud-shaped cracker. Is it you? No. Maddie said every bookkeeper should have their own personal cloud snack. Nora laughed. She took a bite. She became as if more mature, calmer. She looks out the window less, more at people. Because now she has a house, not made of bricks, made of hands. From your hands, from ours. They were silent. Then Elliot said, I ordered a ring. Ring. Simple, no stones, but with an engraving inside. And what's there? You stayed. It's not exactly a romantic phrase, but it's honest. Are you ready? That is, to be not just a father but a husband again? I don't know how to be again, but I know how to be with you, without masks, without panic, with an open window and your mint. She didn't answer. She just took his hand, silently. Nora, will he be with us forever? Maddie sat on the floor among the pillows. Who? Brother? Not quite yet. He's still in the belly. But he listens. And remembers. I whispered a fairy tale to him today, and I told him that he would have a giraffe. Is that true? True. Real. Made of plush. But with a kind heart. Will Dad tell stories? Dad will sing. Does he sing? He's trying. And that's the main thing. Maddie walked up to her stomach and placed her palm on it. Brother, I'm waiting for you. I already like you, even if you're noisy. He heard, Nora said, placing her hand on her daughter's. Are you sure? More confident than ever. They got married on a quiet, clear day. No guests, just their closest ones. In that same, sunny library. Maddie was the ring bearer, in a white dress strewn with tiny stars. Nora was in a simple linen dress sewn by her own hands. Elliot, in a gray sweater, with an engraving on his finger and a drop of light in his eyes. Promise? She whispered, when everyone fell silent. What? To be. Not just nearby. Inside. I promise. You are my story, and I am your voice. Then let's start the first chapter. That evening they sat on the floor. Maddie fell asleep on Nora's lap, holding the book, Where the Light Begins, in her hands. You know, Elliot said, I always thought family was blood. Documents, promises, photos. And now it's you, Maddie. A blanket, mint, scattered books, and snoring from the corner. This is home. He was inside. Nobody just opened the door. And you opened it. By accident. Accidents are invitations from fate. Then I was lucky that you once got the number wrong. I'm lucky that you answered. Do you think our son will believe in fairy tales? He won't just believe. He will grow inside one of them. And the finale? There won't be any, only new chapters. And somewhere in the corner, on a table, lay an old note, almost faded. The burrow. Library. Mint and books. Only in emergencies. But now, there would only be one emergency, if she suddenly disappeared. And she didn't disappear. Because sometimes the most important things in life start with you staying, and just reading on.